What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into X-Men Red issue number 16. The battle is finally upon us. The Battle of Port Prometheus. Genesis and her army have Trojan horsed their way directly to the doorsteps. With the gateway being opened up, we see Genesis with the Annihilation Staff. We have the Children of Apocalypse, Pestilence, Famine, War, and Death. They lead the charge as they face against the greatest of odds. Is Storm and her soldiers enough to hold off this force? Can they hold Port Prometheus? Or will we watch it burn to the ground? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you like this video. And with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up in the space above Uranos. We have the man known as Craig, the guy that had worked for NASA, and while he hasn't played a huge fundamental part in anything that is ongoing, he has been studying the terraforming that was done to Mars. Along with them is Weaponless Zen and a handful of other individuals. They are just now learning that there is no returning to Uranos, no returning to Port Prometheus, at least at this time. And that is because Port Prometheus is set ablaze. It is in the middle of a full-scale invasion, and we have War, the child of Apocalypse. She is setting this place ablaze. We have mutants and aliens running in all directions, the flames engulfing all of the buildings. That is when her brother Famine says that you did a good job, but the way he sees it, these people, they don't deserve a funeral pyre. That burning your way to the halls of death, that is reserved for warriors. All he sees in the flames is traitors and diplomats. And so he will correct his sister's mistake. This is where we pick up with Kobach. Right now, he is looking for Lotus. He is looking for the Fisher King because the buildings, they are coming down all around them. This is where he sees Siza of the Smoke. She lets Kobach know that the Fisher King is with Roberto. Lotus is already outside fighting. The word right now, get to the riverbank. This is where they will regroup and mount their counteroffensive. But she has come here for something in particular. Something that Roberto had locked away for safekeeping. Right after Judgment Day, Storm had entrusted the Night Seats to keeping the ultimate weapon safe. What they refer to as the Uranos trigger. As soon as she touches it, she has communication with Uranos. He finds it very funny that they are already pulling out this weapon. He lets her know that you do hold the ultimate weapon in your hand. You hold Uranos the Eternal, the living destruction, holding every weapon that he has ever crafted. All she must do is say the words and the killing will begin. But all she has to do is ask. It's also worth noting that we do see Druig in this picture and he has been impaled. Obviously, they were never going to be good cellmates, but she is not the one to activate this if that is what they are to do. We see her and Kobach, they teleport out of here, and it brings us up to the skies, Roberto and Fisher King. Now, Roberto, he cannot help but feel that all of this is his fault, that he should have seen this coming, but he believes that he got too cocky, he got too arrogant. Really, Roberto is just feeling the weight of all these decisions, and he is taking them as his own. As we pick back up with Famine, we see a giant tidal wave coming in. The tidal wave taking the form of Famine himself. As he goes to wash away everything and everybody. The water crashes down. Though the flames are put out, now everybody is in chaos. But Famine's reign of terror is about to come to a quick halt. Because with the crack of lightning coming down, we see Famine absolutely decimated, with Storm descending from the heavens, letting Famine know that today you showed me who you are. You showed me what mercy brings. And so Storm will no longer bring mercy. She will bring only their destruction. This is when War turns on Storm, focuses all of her attention and all of her energy directly on her, asking Storm, who are you to challenge us? The children of Uranos, the kings and queens of the world, the true Omegas. And Storm tries to let her know that when Annihilation Helm had took Genesis, you didn't side with your mother, you sided with the Helm. And a battle between Omega level mutants has never been a matter of power. It has been a matter of versatility. This is where the whirlwind begins to surround war. The pressure and temperature changing, the whirlwind increasing, and we see the flame of war completely die out. 2 of Apocalypse's children have been taken off the board in a matter of moments. This is when we have the arrival of Death. And the thing about Death and Storm is their relationship is very all over the place. But there is a mutual respect, maybe even room for love. Death is informing us that his siblings are downed and not dead. He can feel the spark in both of them. She tries to say that she is not playing in mercy, but Death knows that there is still mercy inside of Storm. This is where Death challenges Storm. The end-all be-all. Full strength, no holding back, their final dance. As the 2 of them prepare for their battle, each of them getting ready to make their attack, this is where we see the sister. We have Pestilence, wielding an arrow made from Death himself. She shoots that arrow directly at Storm, and right before it makes contact with Storm, that is when Nova comes swooping in. Nova takes that arrow directly into his chest. Storm going to his side, going to touch him, but Death stops her. Says that plague, it spreads by touch. It kills by pain. There was no one else that can survive this but Death himself. We have seen that Nova has met his end, but now Death turns on his sister. His sister just interfered with the challenge. Death is one to hold on to their customs. That if they don't hold on to the customs, all of this war is for naught. That it is pointless. That if we don't continue on our customs, why are we even fighting these fights? The way that Pestilence sees it. That these customs, these traditions, they exist to serve the children of Apocalypse. Right now, Storm is the enemy. They destroy their enemies no matter what, no matter who they might be. This is when Death takes off his helmet. The first time that we have ever seen him do this. Though we don't get a good glimpse of his face, we only get the dark silhouette of it. When he takes off that helmet, we see that Pestilence dies right there on the spot. She falls down to nothing but ash. This even puts Storm at pause. But Death goes on to say that she interfered in a challenge. That was a challenge by insult. She said that these things, they mean nothing, but he believes that she was wrong, that she has to be wrong. This is when Saza the Smoke comes out. She gives the Uranos trigger to Storm. She tells Storm that it has to be her because she is the seed of loss. And she also can't listen to him talk any longer. This is where Uranos begins to talk to Storm, informing her that he has been watching the situation, that he will skip the preamble. He tells Storm to release him for his hour of freedom, that he will end this war by ending every single life on this planet that is not of her faction. The trigger is in her hand. The choice is hers. And so now she must choose. And this is very interesting for Storm, because she said that she is not holding back any longer, that she won't show mercy, but we have already seen that she is in fact showing mercy. She took down 2 of the children of Apocalypse without even really breaking a sweat. But now she has the option to end this war instantly. No mercy, no holds barred, nothing. And she can use Uranos to do this. But does she really want to do this? Because Uranos will not care. He will kill everybody. He says that he won't kill members of her faction. This might be true, but Storm also knows that she has the power and capability to do this without him. That if she were to truly let go, to truly not have any mercy, she could rain down hell on Genesis and all of her forces. And so now Storm, the Weather Witch, must decide. Will she fully let go? Will she become the monster? Or will she release the monster from its cage and pray that everything goes according to plan? This is what takes us over to the Autumn Lands, once home to the Autumn Palace, home of Magneto. We have a gateway that is opening up. Walking through that portal is none other than Apocalypse himself. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Another freaking banger from X-Men Red. Now, I was really hoping that we would get to see the full battle here, but obviously, circumstances have changed. Storm is contemplating using the Uranos trigger to wipe out Genesis and her forces in a single hour. But it is not guaranteed that Genesis would fall. More than likely, she could be weakened. But her demise, that is not a guarantee, even against someone like Uranos. And so now Storm is really just contemplating the idea of letting go, truly showing her full Omega potential for once. Not having mercy, not having any sympathy, just decimating her enemy's ranks. The truth is, she might be able to do as much damage as Uranos could. But then we have the arrival of Apocalypse. How is this going to change things? Will he side with Genesis after all of this time? Will he side with Storm and the Brotherhood of Araco? Or has he come to put a stop to all of it? Either way, one of the biggest players has just entered the game. And we're gonna have to wait until next month to find out exactly what happens here. But let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on with the X-Men, with X-Men Red, or the Fall of X, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that is going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.